Okay, so let's try this again. I've tried recording this episode multiple times, to which I've had no avail. This may seem extremely random. This may seem like, where the fuck is this coming from? But just know that it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense if you stick with me until the end. Greetings and salutations. It's your favorite flower, Daisy here, coming to you with Daisy's Diverse Discussions, episode 3. The one you are looking for is you. No one is coming to save you. Now I had to take this back. I had to take it way back. I had to come outside. I just had to get my chair set up. I had to get the camera. I had to take my shoes off, get connected and grounded with my space. It's been a long time coming, y'all. I know I haven't been as active. I know I've said in my most recent log journey updates that I am trying to get back, and this is me actively trying to do that. Time and I have had a hate-love relationship for an extremely long time. If it's one thing that I always want to do, I just always want to be real. I always want to be myself. And so it's very hard for me. I always say I don't know how to be fake. I don't know how to do all of that. If I'm feeling unsettled, if something is ruffling my feathers, if I'm feeling uneasy, best believe I am going to make it known. Or if I'm not verbally saying anything, physically and spiritually, you will notice a shift. You will peep a shift. And I feel like I've been in this autopilot mood for so long. I have hella notes. I have hella stories. I have hella metaphors and things that even helped me and pushed me to get me up until this point. And like everything that I do, I always want people to know that they're just not alone. You know, we're all living in this world. We're all living in this system. We're all going through life. And I think it's so easy for all of us to get caught up in the tricks of our mind. I've been searching for so long for something to pull me back, and to come to find out it was me that I was searching for this whole time. I'm just gonna dive in. Hella notes, follow me. My mind is like a spider web, like it's all interconnected and everything. We can go all over the place. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Daisy. Hey. Originally started my YouTube journey for my locks. Daisy's Diverse Discussions was supposed to be a space on my platform, on my channel, for you and I both to come together and talk about any and everything under the sun. To learn together, to grow together, ask questions, figure it out. Oh yeah, this happens. Outside noises, can't control that. We're just gonna work with it, okay? It's so easy to lose yourself. And for a moment there, I lost myself. And I found myself. And I want to talk about that. And that's what this episode is all about. So without further ado, let's hop into it. I feel tried. I felt like I was in the midst of a spiritual warfare. I felt like I was being attacked physically, emotionally, mentally, and I did not know how to verbalize that. I did not know what was going on, okay? This has been the loneliest I have ever felt in my life. I cannot pinpoint another time in my life where I have felt as lonely as I do now. I'm gonna start with the pit stop analogy. I made an analogy for what it was that I was feeling these past, I was gonna say 2 years, but it hasn't been 2 years yet. It's been like a year and some change. So boom, imagine this. So I'm driving in the car and I'm on this road, which is my life path. Like, it's my journey. This is the life path and the decisions that one takes to their future selves. My bags are packed. The car is packed to the brim. Not only am I in the car, there are people in the car that's been with me since birth, or I like to call them the people of my past. people that I have known for X amount of time that I thought were going to be with me in certain life situations or in just certain memories, period. I'm in the car and I need some gas, so I make a stop at a pit stop. I stop at the gas station. I'm at this gas station and I'm talking to the cashier and we just start bonding. I like their energy, they like my energy. And so now we're in tune and we're having this really nice, deep conversation. The cashier and Shawty behind me in line, they are natives of this town. They are citizens. Now I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, like time is moving on, and I really love this conversation. I love the energy, and I think that this could really grow into something in the future. Why don't we exchange information? I leave the gas station, I'm going to go pump gas, and then there's somebody on the other side of the pump and they're like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. Oh my God, I love your locks. And I'm like, thank you. Oh my gosh, I like your shirt too. And now we're all talking. We're like, what are you? Oh, I'm an actor. What do you do? Oh, really? Oh, I'm a singer. Oh, I'm into photography. Oh, I make videos. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh my God, really? We should connect. Oh my goodness, it's so nice. So now we're having like a 15 minute to 30-minute conversation at the gas pump. I've been at this gas station for all of like an hour, maybe 2 hours. The people in the car are getting restless. The sun is starting to set. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to continue driving on this road right now. I need to eat. I need to rest up. So boom, I go and look for a place to stay. I go look for a place to stay. And as I'm checking into the Airbnb hotel, I don't know, we're using our imaginations, okay? As I'm checking in, I cross paths with a group of natives that, again, they're about to head out downtown to a party or some shit, a networking event where so-and-so is gonna be there. Lots of people are there, and you know, we're just gonna be in it. It would be really cool for you to come, like, you should slide through. I didn't have any plans. I actually planned on being on the road, so why not? The long story short, y'all, I'm in this city for damn near like a year and a half, 2 years. But I don't even notice that the time goes by. You feel me? I don't even notice that all this time has gone by because I'm so infatuated with the city. I'm so infatuated with the grassroots people, with the family-owned businesses, the Black-owned businesses. I am really in tune with this, and I want to make a change, and I want to connect with other people, other artists, other people who say that this is what they want to do. But come to find out now, in the midst of these 2 years, now this is me trying to figure out, do I want to stay here? Do I want to create a life here? Or do I need to continue on my journey and see if there's something out there better for me? Like, why am I really staying here, right? But in the midst of me going through that, because this is life, right? Like, sometimes things happen and it's beyond our control. We don't even notice that it's happening because we're in the moment. And sometimes it takes us to be out the moment to see that. In the midst of those 2 years in the city, the people in the car are getting restless. Now, you've got 3 types of people. The first batch of people who they left once they heard that I was staying the night, or maybe I stayed the night and they didn't like that I was hanging out with the people there, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go. You're not going in the direction that I thought you were gonna go in. You're not really being the person who I thought you were. You're changing, you're growing. I don't really know who you are anymore, and I'm not gonna stick around to find out because you're digging yourself in a hole. You're going nowhere, bitch. Like, for real, like, that's the energy, y'all. No cap, no lies. Then you've got the people who got 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. So they're doing them, selfishly being them. They're over there being them, and they check back in. They're like, hey, how are you, friend? What's been going on? You know, after they see that I'm doing certain things and that I'm still moving, I'm still kicking, I'm still trying to follow my dreams and goals. Like, nothing ain't stopped. I'm just going through life. Second set of people, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like, are you my friend? Do you support me? Because when I really need you and when it's time to execute my shit, you're nowhere to be found. The energy is not matched. But you say you're my friend though, and you say that you want to help me succeed. Then you've got the third type of people in my car, which are the people that essentially has been down since day one. Not to say that there weren't complications and challenges along the way, but they're still here, right? Like, they're still here along the journey. And now that I'm ready to go, and that's what 2023 is for me, I feel. Now that I'm ready to continue on my life path, wash my hands with certain situations, certain people and things, I'm looking back in the car, I'm ready to leave, and I'm looking back and I'm like, dang, it's pretty empty back here. Like, where did my forever friends go? Where did the family go? Where did the people who said that they loved me and that they supported me and that they just wanted me to be happy? Where are those people at? And the pit stop analogy is basically the analogy to describe my life post-graduation. I chose to come back home for reasons that I thought were for myself, but really they weren't for myself. They were for a very small part of myself that had not yet let go of certain things and had not accepted things for as they were. And I was in denial. I was in denial, and it affected me really badly. So let's get into that. I tried to pinpoint it, and I said that 2019 was the last year that I really felt 100% like myself. I had just got to Morgan State. I just got there that fall, and I'm getting accustomed to everything, and I'm moving into the off-campus apartments. I'm just thinking about everything as, oh, this is my second chance. I didn't really do or live up to like what I feel is my full potential in Nashville, so I've got another chance, right? I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. 2019, I feel like I had a lot of fire. You know, I remember posting that summer with my lock journey, and then I told myself, I was like, okay, when I get settled, I'm gonna find a nice area, and my roommates are just gonna know that I'm a YouTuber. Like, I make YouTube videos. Like, that's just what I do. So they're gonna have to get used to it, you know? And like, that just never happened. 2021 to 2022, I feel like that was the year where I wasn't fully moving for myself. So like I mentioned earlier, when I decided to come home after graduation, it's not like I came here because I felt like there were opportunities for my acting career. It's not like I came here because I felt like there was something necessarily waiting on me and I could more so benefit in my home city versus the stomping grounds that I was already laying down. I came down here because I wanted closure on this whole sexuality situation. For those of you who don't know, so if you follow me, if you looked at all my videos and stuff, I've mentioned this before. But Triple D episode 2 was actually, was it episode 2? I think it was supposed to be about me talking about myself as a bisexual black woman. I was supposed to talk about my story, how I came to realize that I was bisexual, what that looked like for me, my feelings and all that. The only reason I was going to make that the next episode is because at that moment in time, I thought I was done with that situation. I thought I was over it. I thought I had healed. I got closure. I thought everybody, I thought whatever was going on at that time was how it was gonna be, and I was cool. But that didn't happen. And I'm not gonna get into it too deep here because I am still gonna make an episode going deeply into that. But I brought it up to say, you know, my problems may not be as big or as traumatic as someone else's problems, but it doesn't mean that my problem is any less of a problem. So for a very long time, I struggled with even admitting this out loud because I was like, man, there are people out here starving. There are people out here who don't have a mother, who don't have a father, who don't have family support, like who don't know when their next meal is gonna come, who don't know if the clothes on their back is their last. Like, there are people out here going through far worse than me. So I just don't even feel like I should be complaining because I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I was given opportunities. And I didn't feel comfortable really talking about how I was struggling with this and how I was feeling confused and lonely and stuff because I was like, bro, there's far worse out there going on. But by me neglecting what was happening to me, I ended up suppressing those feelings, and it ended up manifesting into all this other stuff that just didn't even need to transpire. So it resulted into my 5th soul search. You know, I limited my social media. I limited who I was talking to. I did my morning routine, incorporated my yoga, meditation, and reciting my 42 laws of Ma'at every morning, every night. Whenever I feel like I'm losing myself and I can't speak up around people and that is a state of panic. That is a state of an emergency for me. Like, if you thought I was a drama queen, like, please, like, everything needs to be stopped. I don't care what ideas I had. I don't care what I'm doing with people. Like, everything is getting canceled. I have to come first. I have to get whatever this feeling is in check. This next chapter that I'm about to talk about is being humble. Now, this is kind of like prelude, you feel me, the disclaimer before I really get into the meat and potatoes of this video. I've always identified as being humble. I've always said that I didn't want to say this and I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. I wanted to be humble. I identify myself as a princess, and anyone in my life will view and treat me as such. And given my previous examples, Disney, given my previous experiences and examples with princesses, I know that a princess is humble. I wanted to mention this humbleness for the people out there like me. Y'all know what y'all bring to the table. Like, we know. You know, I've even come as far as to realize I might be an indigo child. Now, if you're not tuned in with spirituality and things of that nature, I don't know, you could say that I am a guardian angel. Like, I am one of God's chosen disciples. However you want to relate that and connect that to yourself. People out there like me, where they know that they have this power, they know that they're different, they know that they're special, but they don't want who they are to make other people feel bad. Like, me being myself, I don't want you to feel like you being yourself is not enough. I don't want you to feel like you gotta fake something, like you gotta prove something to me, like, you know, showcase something. Like, nah. Like, I'm a regular person just like you feel me? But when it comes to being humble, I realize that us humble individuals that identify with that has kind of hindered us from not really tapping into our true potential. I have this picture saved, like an album that I titled Gems, and this is an album dedicated to things that I come across and I screenshot them, or maybe they make me feel a way, or maybe I feel like they're, they added me, they really came from me, and I really felt the message. It says, be aware of the role that you play in your own suffering. I'm not perfect. I never said I was, nor do I claim to be. I can admit when I'm wrong. Yes, I am more than willing to sit down and have an open and honest conversation about any and everything. But what I won't allow to happen any further is me putting the blame on myself. Like, it doesn't take two to tango. It takes multiple parties to make a relationship work. This video is not that. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you or myself, oh, you need to do the work. You need to make sure that you're being a good friend before you go cut people off. Did you really express everything that you had to say? This is not that. I'm sorry, it's not that. Because, and I know y'all gonna feel me on this, bro, I've already done the work. It's y'all, it's the other people that's making this hard. Like, it's y'all who have not done the work. Y'all who do not know yourselves. And now that energy's starting to trickle over here in my bubble and fog it up with all these fumes and toxins. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. From the jump, I have always been open and honest about my intentions. I've always kept it real. Now, if you choose to move in another light and things of that nature, that's not my problem. That's not my issue. If you're projecting past traumas with people onto me, that's not my issue. I care as someone that cares for you. If I say I'm your friend, I'm gonna want to understand you. I'm interested in you. When it starts to affect me negatively, I have to take a step back. Fuck being humble. Like, is it so bad to say that I'm the shit? Because there's a thin line between cockiness and confidence. And I said that. Wow, I can't even believe I just said that. Wow. I didn't even plan to say that. But I said that back in episode 1 of my 8 principles that I live by to give by. Like, there's a very thin line. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anyone else, but also, like, let's give credit when it's due. Like, I'm a pretty dope individual. You're a pretty dope individual. And us acknowledging that is not going to dim the other person's light or shine. And I found myself in a lot of situations where I'm talking to my forever friends. I'm talking to people that I thought was in my corner, but I'm just not getting that same energy as to when they come to me with their stuff. Oh my God, like, that's such a great idea. Oh my God, look at you, friend. Okay, let's go. So how can I help? How can I be a part? Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Like, like, I'm so down. I'm so down. I'm not looking for anything in return. I don't care about getting paid. I don't care about, like, you don't have to at me, if you don't want to. Like, I'm not really in it for that. I'm doing it because I genuinely believe in your vision. And I want to see you succeed. Like, I can't just believe just because. Like, people make you feel weird for that. But I did want to include this chapter in this video because, bro, fuck being humble. We're over that. I did want to read this screenshot of happiness. Happiness is most profoundly influenced by the quality of our relationships. Strong and supportive connections with family, friends, and community lead to a longer and more fulfilling life. Don't play with me. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Like, like I'm not crazy. Part of that I've realized is just being in the right environment and being around the right people also play a toll into that. One thing my therapist helped me realize too, though, she was like, so how do you plan on fixing this moving forward? I said, well, I'm just going to be selfish. I'm just going to think about me. I'm not going to give people the power over me and my ideas. Like, I'm still going to be the bright and beautiful Daisy that I want to be. I'm just going to be selfish. I'm just going to think about me. And she was like, okay, I hear you. And yes, that's what we want to do. But is there a way to do that without it being selfish? And I'm like, you're right. Perhaps. But I'm just copying what all the girlies are saying. That's the thing now, like, you know, be selfish with your time. And you know what she said to me? And it really brought me back, you know, because not everyone, like, literally, I've said this to friends. I've said this to family. People have even told me this as an advice. Like, Daisy, like, you just got to start being selfish. Like, you just got to start thinking about you first. But when I said that, you know what my therapist said? She said, you know, I know we just met, and I don't know you like that, but I can tell that you're not a selfish person. You don't have a selfish bone in your body, and it shows because you literally just told me that you came back home for X, Y, and Z for other people. So that goes to show me that you're not selfish. And I think by you trying to be selfish, you're also being someone that you're not. I'm sorry, you said what, Miss Therapist? You said what? Don't come for me now. Like, not you trying to tell me about myself. Like, you're correct. I'm not selfish, and I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to go through shit in life and then those things make me build up this wall, and then I'm not an embodiment of love, which is all that I want to do. That really hit home. I'm not a selfish person. I'm not, and I refuse to be made out like I am, which goes into story time. So let's get into it, because now I'm hyped. So now, like, if you wasn't sipping tea, or if you didn't have snacks and stuff, I think this is the time in the video that you get that. I think it's time I switch up, guys. I gotta go to the other side. What caused this? Like, where is this coming from? And what are we even talking about? And what does this all mean, right? What did I realize? I realized after graduating in 2021, I came back home because of multiple reasons. So let me talk about the top one. I wanted closure with my family. My family found out that I was bisexual in 2014. I've been dealing with this since 2014. Now, along the journey, people told me different things. Like, oh, just wait till you get to college. Oh, like, just wait on so-and-so to come around. Oh, you know, just give them time. You gotta understand it's hard for them. Oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. When I made the decision to come back home to South Florida, to Miami, I thought that me physically being here was going to help everything. I felt like it was an opportunity for everyone to put their money where their mouth was. I came down here for my family, for friends. So many people, y'all. Like, let me sit up for this. So many people hitting my DMs, hitting my phone, talking about, oh, like, you're doing the damn thing, Daisy. When's the next time you coming back? When's the next time you come home? When do you graduate? When you coming back? Like, we gotta link up. We gotta do all this, that, and the third. So many people said so many things. And I believed them. So that was also a factor in me coming home. Like, I was like, well, you know, so-and-so's down there. Like, we can rekindle that relationship, and so-and-so's down there. I was so excited to come back home and to basically live my life like how I was living it in Baltimore, and live my life how I was living it in Nashville. But that didn't happen. Just because I was myself outside of my home state, that did not mean that I had tackled the demons that were still waiting for me in my home city. So when I got back down here, I basically went through all of that. I guess in their minds and their perceptions, because I wasn't doing things their way, or I didn't do certain things, or whatever the case may be, I felt like people didn't really take it seriously. And that kind of taps into the whole LGBTQIA plus thing anyway. I highly doubt a lot of the things that were said to me as far as advice or perceptions on how I should move in my relationship would not have gotten said to me had I been dating a man. And that's the gag. Like, that's the part that blows me. But that's neither here or there. That's not what this episode is about. We're gonna continue. I lost my best friend of 20 years last year in 2022. Yes, I did. And if you would have asked me like then, I would have been crying about it. I would have been like, oh my God. But now, a year and some change later, I can strongly say that that was probably the catalyst. Like, it wasn't the cherry on top, because I feel like for me the cherry on top was end of 2022 / like the top of 2023. It was definitely it was probably the whipped cream and sprinkles. I was like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, not you too. Like, you're supposed to be somebody that I've known. So that leads into the cherry on top of the sundae, which is like, okay, what have people done for me? Folks are like in my ear telling me like what I need to do, what I should have done, where I should have been, all this type of mess. But like, what did y'all do for me in those down and out moments? Where was everybody when I needed someone? Which brings me to my next chapter, snip, snip, ho. Like, why is it that the nicest people are dealt with the shittiest situations? Like, this is like, I'm trying to deal with the cards that I was dealt, and for some reason I'm just kind of not feeling the deck. And instead of just taking it as it is, I'm standing my ground and I'm demanding a new deck of cards. Like, this is my life, y'all are living in it respectfully, just like if it was somebody else. Like, it's y'all world, I'm just living in it. Everybody is just living in it. You are the director, and you're the writer, and you're the creator of this life. And I'm just so lost as to how what somebody else got going on over there affects somebody else when it has no direct correlation to you at all whatsoever. And if I can pinpoint any one traumatic experience or any one thing that held me back, I would say that it was this situation right here. It came with all this stuff that the people in my life weren't yet ready for. I was trying so hard to keep people that I grew up with or people that I felt like should be in my life there. It caused me to not be my authentic self. It's caused me to self-doubt. It caused me to feel like I wasn't gonna amount to anything, that I could not accomplish my dreams and goals because I'm bisexual. After soul searching, which I knew I was gonna do this, after soul searching, I really started to take into consideration people's actions and people's words. What was I doing? Y'all, I had no boundaries. And like, let me speak to the people that are like struggling with boundaries. Listen. I feel like I gotta take my hat off for this one. RIP to the people that we used to be when we had no boundaries set up. Allowing people to project their shortcomings onto me. Like, if you want to limit yourself, that's fine. Like, if you feel like you've been in this certain situation and it didn't play out that way for you, okay, I understand that. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen for me though. I've always talk. I've always expressed myself. But all of a sudden, I'm having doubts and insecurities and feelings that aren't even mine to begin with. They're only there because somebody told me that. I started to like not take my own advice. So in the midst of soul searching, right, and coming back to myself, one of the things that I did was look at my YouTube channel. And there were so many different emotions, y'all, that happened before I came to the feeling of appreciation and gratitude. First immediate thought was, what the fuck was I doing? Did I really post like this? I'm up here talking, saying names, like I was free as a bird, probably with no regard of the future, probably not even thinking about professionalism or thinking about future opportunities. I was just being myself on the internet, and it worked. It thrived. Like, I met people would send me things and I would rep it, like genuinely, like I had no issue. When I was going back and looking at my old YouTube channels, I came across Triple D episode 1. I was so shocked that a lot of these principles I let fall to the wayside. A lot of these principles I no longer practiced and I no longer did or said because I feel like I got lost in the sauce. I got lost in society and these pressures and these invisible strong ass energies that if you don't know what it is, they can take you by the neck. Like they can really grab you, yo. So looking at my old videos, it literally was so eye-opening. It was such a full circle moment, and it made me realize that I was on the right track all along. I was not doing anything wild or extremely abnormal. I was just being myself. And the people in my life, it was them who didn't really know how to handle that and how to work with that. And it caused a lot of tension. Neither I or the people involved knew how to express at the time. I would rather be alone. You know how in the beginning of this video I was like, oh, this is the loneliest that I've ever felt. Well, I was taking that as a negative thing at first. People are putting their assumptions on you. People are putting you in a box, essentially. And you're trying to break out of that and you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And it's like, bro, fuck all that. Fuck all of that. To get somewhere that you've never been, you're gonna have to do things that you've never done. You're gonna have to say things you never said. Which brings me to the next chapter. Grow now or later. This goes out to all the shotties and shotettes. Like, stop. No, honestly, like, you know, take me or leave me, you know, as I am. Don't come around. You know, like, you don't have to be my friend. You don't have to like me. You don't have to be in cahoots with each other. Don't make yourself feel bad if you feel away being in my presence. It's fine. Keep it real with yourself. Grow now or grow later. I was having a conversation with a makeup artist. I was doing a music video, a recent music video that I did for those of you that follow me on Instagram. What Are We? By Paul Morris, out now on all platforms. Music video here on YouTube if you want to check it out. Your girl is the leading lady. But I was getting my makeup done by Lily, the makeup artist. And I was expressing to her all of this stuff. Like, I feel like I'm only getting older. Like, all this time has gone by. Oh. And she's like, girl, at least you're realizing this at 26. She's like, I'm 31 and I noticed this all at 30. When I really, like, pondered on the words, I was like, you know what? You're damn right. We all are really on our own little life journeys. I might see you on your journey, like in the car type stuff, but like we're on two different paths. You might get off on the next exit. You might bust a U-turn and go back to where you came from. It doesn't matter what age I learned this. It doesn't matter if I feel like all this time has been wasted and that, you know, I'm feeling lonely or whatever the case may be. Everything that is happening to me is happening for me, not to me. So it's time for us to pick and choose who we give our time to, who we give our love, and who we give our kindness to. And it doesn't mean that we're a bad person. It means that we're protecting ourselves because we know that everybody out there doesn't have the right intentions, doesn't have our best interests at heart. Coming home made me realize that even though I grew up, it doesn't mean that my home city did. It doesn't mean that the people that I knew here grew as well, especially if they've only been here and they went to school here and they haven't really branched out and experienced life and new ways of thinking and challenged themselves. Like I can't talk that. I can't teach that. It's something that someone has to go on for themselves. And it's funny because I told my therapist, I was like, yeah, I feel like I was using school as an excuse to not come home and to run away from my problems. And she said, well, I wouldn't call that an excuse because the environment of school or where it was located, like the environment of school allowed you and gave you that opportunity to be who you wanted to be. So it's not an excuse. You had every right to want to stay in a safe environment that made you feel good. And I'm like, you're right. I've just been blessed with opportunities, you know, that equals the growth that I have today. And I that's why I'm like, yo, I can't regret anything. I can't regret any mishaps that I've had with people because all of that is knowledge. All of that is information that I am retaining and pocketing for my future endeavors because here I am still making it. I'm still alive. Sometimes we go through things and we think it's the end of the world. World War III is happening. Like, everyone stop the music. Like, but, you know, as time goes on, we realize, okay, I'm okay. I'm still breathing. I'm still me. I'm still good. I've still got love in my corner. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. It's not really about the quantity of people, it's about the quality. And I'd rather have one genuine person in my corner than 1,000 fake motherfuckers. Like, 'cause I do believe that I've talked enough already, and I have a lot of good material to edit to where I think this video can be something that I can be proud of and that people can take what they can from it. But I do have one last chapter here, and it's called "It's All About Balance, Baby." So in this new season of simplicity is what I have titled this time period in my life. I'm gonna stop making myself available. When people ask me to do things, like, I have to think about, okay, like, is this something I want to do? Am I gonna benefit from it? Am I interested? I really have to think about whether or not I want to do something. I was distracted with this one situation that had multiple layers within it. People are apologizing to me. Like, my aunt called me the other day and she just basically confirmed everything that I thought was happening with the situation. On one end, it's nice to know that I was right, but on another end, why did it have to take so long, and why did all this hurt have to be present in order for people to realize something that I said way back when? But this is life. It's all about balance, baby. Like, you're either with me or against me, and it makes no difference to me. That's all I can say. Like, if I have to go on this alone, like, I will go on it alone. We gotta find a balance within it all. And my initial reaction to that was, well, I'm just not gonna participate at all. But I don't think that that was the right reaction for it. I think that there does need to be some type of responsibility and, like, just pick and choose, like, what's for me and what's not for me. Social life is greater than, not equal to, social media. I feel like social media has grown. People, like, they just think that they're the shit. They feel really entitled without putting in the work. They think because they're in certain rooms with people that justifies them, it validates them. People are moving very sneakily. Some people are moving for them with their hearts, and other people, you don't know what the fuck they're on. It's time to use social media more so as a tool, not a hindrance. We have the power. We have the control to the things that we can control. I'm done with this. Quite frankly, that is a wrap. You know, I tried to insert, like, some advice in there, but I really wanted you guys to hear my story and what I was going through. What I started to realize from, like, the new people, like, the new friends that I'm making, that I'm not the only one going through this. Like, it's so crazy. Like, when you talk to people, you realize that you're not alone and that you've just been surrounding yourself by the wrong people. And it's okay to let go. It's all right to let go. Change. Blow up on them. It's all right. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to grow. I don't know. I just felt like I wouldn't be here had I not done certain things. I'm not gonna sit here and dwell in the doubts and insecurities of others, and you shouldn't either. If you have to walk a path alone, if you have to do something to show people, then you do that, and you stand in your truth, and you do the damn thing, because there's only one of you. There's only one of me. And if we all walked around here doing the same things, being the same person, life would be boring, people would be boring, and there would be no point of living a life. So with all that being said, yo, the one you are looking for, the one you're searching for is yourself. No one is coming to save you. If you're expecting someone to speak on your behalf, to express how you feel, to read your mind, I'm sorry, like, that's just not happening. I've had to come to realize that. I hope me realizing that helps you realize that, you feel me? Learn from your elders. Don't go through shit if you don't have to, yo. Keep the red flags. 9 times out of 10, they're red flags. Don't create this imaginary thing. And to close out, I saw this thing on Instagram that my friend reposted. Shout out to Alyssa. It was going into how people that create these imaginary relationships with people and hold people to a standard that never even happened in reality, it probably means that you were emotionally neglected as a child. I haven't began to unpack that with my therapist, but I know that there were plenty of times where it was family, friends, a lover, a partner, whatever, whoever I was talking to, I would express myself and my emotions, and I just really felt neglected. Like, I felt like people weren't understanding me, or they would just disregard what I was saying because I was young. I didn't know what I was talking about. And look at me now. 26, knowing what the fuck I was talking about all the way. I've been knew what I was talking about since I was 16. I guess with certain people, it just takes them certain like moments and time periods, and me, that's just not the case. If you lasted this long, thanks for lasting this long. Man, live your life, yo. You only get one. I'm not going to spend any more of my time on people and places and things that don't get it and don't see the vision. Much love. Thanks for coming back. If you actually came back, if you're new, welcome to the Garden of Eden. If you have a Netflix account, you need to look at the Garden of Eden. Oh, such a great show. Well, okay, also look at Stranger Things, because how can I bring up Netflix without bringing up Stranger Things? My number one. Be easy, y'all. Enjoy the rest of the month. All right, love y'all. Peace. Much love.